It was 1:58 a.m. when I heard tires crunching over the gravel outside. I was on the couch, wide awake, pretending to watch a rerun of some late-night talk show while my stomach twisted in knots. My wife, Emily, had texted hours earlier. "Don't. Wait up. The meeting's running late." But I'd seen her boss, Mark, post an Instagram story an hour ago, him and a few colleagues laughing at a rooftop bar. That uneasy pit in my stomach told me she wasn't where she claimed to be. I stayed up, lights dimmed, waiting not because I wanted to catch her, but because I needed to see what kind of man I'd become if I ignored my instincts. When headlights flashed across the window, I moved quietly toward the door, peeking. Through the curtain gap, I saw her. Emily stepping out of Mark's black BMW, laughing, her hand brushing his arm like they were far too familiar. He leaned in, whispered something, and she giggled. His hand slid to her lower back in that way only someone completely comfortable would. My pulse raced. I opened the door before she reached the porch. The sudden sound froze them both. Emily's smile vanished, replaced by shock, while Mark straightened up like a teenager caught sneaking in past curfew. "Well," I said calmly, leaning against the doorframe, "this must be the meeting you mentioned." Mark stammered something about giving her a safe ride home, his voice cracking halfway through the lie. Emily tried to speak, but her excuses tangled on her tongue. I could smell alcohol, expensive perfume, and something else, guilt, thick in the night air. "You can go now, Mark," I said, locking eyes with him. He hesitated, glanced at her for backup, but she just looked down. "Go." My voice was calm, but my chest tightened. Muttered something, nodded, and hurried to his car, driving off without another word. Emily stepped inside slowly, like she was entering a courtroom. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was the oldest line in the book. "Then tell me what it is," I said, folding my arms. She tried to explain that they were celebrating a project win, that everyone was there, but her voice shook. "You came home in his car at 2 a.m. Were the others invisible? Or did they vanish when he offered to drive you home?" I asked. She didn't answer. Silence spoke louder than any story she could invent. I walked past her to the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and stared at my reflection in the microwave. "Dor, you used to hate staying out late," I said quietly. "Right now you stay past midnight, dressed up for your boss, and expect me to believe it's work." She stepped closer. "Then please don't do this right now." I turned slowly. "No, Emily, you already did this. I'm just trying to understand when it started." Tears filled her eyes, but no apology came. Just fear. Fear of losing comfort, not love. She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. "You think I don't notice how you light up when he calls?" I asked. "You think I don't hear the laughter? You save only for him?" She shook her head, sobbing. "It's not like that." I tilted my head. "Then what is it like?" "It's because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like betrayal dressed as ambition." She sank onto the couch, hiding. Her face. The house felt smaller, heavier, suffocating with everything we'd left unsaid, and everything we both already knew. 10 minutes passed in silence, the ticking clock louder than ever, counting down the end of something sacred. Finally, I said, "You know, I defended you when people said Mark was getting too close. I told them they were wrong, that you'd never cross that line." Her red, wet eyes lifted. I swear I didn't sleep with him." I nodded slowly. "Not yet. But tell me, did it feel good to be treated like something shiny while I was home paying bills and cooking dinner?" She broke down completely, whispering my name as if it could undo what she'd done. I went to the hallway closet and pulled out the small suitcase I had packed earlier, just in case my fears turned real. Her face drained of color. "Ethan, where are you going?" she cried. "To find my self-respect," I said, zipping the bag. "You've spent too long chasing attention. Spent too long pretending not to notice." She tried to block the door, but I gently moved her aside. "I'm not angry," I said quietly. "I'm just done being the man waiting for scraps of honesty." Her sobs followed me into the cool night. As I approached my truck, I saw Mark's BMW parked down the street, headlights off. Coward. I walked up to his window and knocked. He rolled it down halfway, terrified. "You waited," I said, That's cute.
Ow.
He tried to explain, apologize, insist he was just being a good boss. I leaned in. Good boss doesn't. Text a married woman at midnight or drive her home at 2 a.m. Don't mistake what's broken in her marriage for an invitation. It'll destroy you too. Then I walked away, leaving him staring speechless. By the time I hit the highway, dawn was breaking. My phone buzzed with her calls. I didn't answer. Somewhere between mile markers 42 and 43, I rolled down the window and let the cold wind hit my face. It hurt, but it also felt clean. I wasn't sure what would come next, but for the first time in months, I felt like myself again. Maybe she'd realize what she lost, maybe not. But one thing was certain.